Hi, welcome to the energy update for Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Happy Valentine's Day. There's no wisdom that I have for Valentine's Day because the story of Saint Valentine does not go along with relationships in the way that everybody wants to think it does. So, and like Cupid was actually an obnoxious little twerp. so, um, this day might be a little cranky. You may find that it's actually a little bit hard to express how you're feeling on this kind of day. Let's take a look at the chart. But as we're waking up, we have this Aries moon that will be square Venus as we're waking up. It's about this is around 5 a.m. Eastern time when the moon will square Venus. And so like mid-afternoon, probably, I would say mid-afternoon for across the pond in the UK. So there's, and just kind of like you can kind of gauge from there about like the cranky status, because this isn't really fun. Like the moon square Venus, you just may find yourself kind of, you know, wanting to stand up for yourself, or I don't know. It feels like Valentine's Day is a day of independence and a day of freedom this year, and not so much codependence and not so much wanting somebody else to make you feel better. I've seen a lot of Galentine's posts with the ladies, where they're just like getting together with their friends and stuff. And I think that that's really awesome. Mars is conjoined Pluto still as well on Wednesday, Valentine's Day. And we have Chiron conjunct the North Node, which will be exact on Monday, the 19th. So there's a lot about being independent and standing, being ultra independent this year. We're also going to see that moon squared to Venus, and then we will see the ingress to Taurus in the morning, like mid-morning, and then an immediate square to Pluto. So after that square to Venus, we're going to have the moon square Pluto. A lot of intense emotions are coming out of this Valentine's Day. Then the moon will square Mars immediately after the moon squares Pluto. So a lot of volatile anger, a lot of angry energy happening. It's really an interesting kind of Valentine's Day. Feels more like a massacre than love, a lot of love. And that's a little scary for me to say. Like, I'm not trying to, again, like, I'm not the astrologer that's going to fearmonger everybody. A lot of this Mars conjunct Aquarius, it's happening for me in my 5th house because I'm a Libra rising. So I feel the energy of, wanting to create. I really want to be creative with this. And so, in yesterday's daily energy update, we talked about utilizing this Mars conjunct Pluto energy as creative energy. But on Wednesday, the energy is going to get really, really intense as the moon ingresses Taurus. And then even more so on Thursday, you may find that there are conversations, probably some needed conversations that need to be had, that kind of rise with the intensity as well. And I use that word intense, and I'm going to use that word intense for quite a few of these transits because that's what it is. It's intense. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be bad. It's uncomfortable. There's tension. There's restriction, right? It feels like a lot of restriction, but really what's happening is we're transmuting the energy. We're flowing through the energy. We have to get through that tension too. That tension is a part of it. So after the moon will square Mars, then we will have moon sextile Saturn later on in the evening, and then the moon will conjoin Jupiter right after that sextile to Saturn. So late evening, it's almost like a pressure cooker building up, pressure cooker building up, pressure cooker building up. On Thursday, I feel like there could possibly be some explosive conversation. So we'll definitely have to discuss that. So we see the moon will conjoin Mars overnight. This could have some pretty cool dreams, I think, that moon conjunct Mars overnight, or I'm sorry, Jupiter. Wow, I keep saying that. Overnight. Mercury is getting ready to sextile Chiron in the North Node. So we'll talk about that stuff for tomorrow. Let's get an oracle card. All of this challenging, intense energy is setting us up for the transformations that are happening, the changes that are happening. There are a lot of people that are moving right now, like physically moving, even spiritually in a lot of ways. There are people that are like moving forward and flowing and changing directions in their lives. But let's see. Woo. There's two of them that fell out. So I think that we've got our cards. Discovering truth and choosing your path. And this absolutely, this energy on Wednesday, this energy feels like choosing, like being very decisive about your energy, and being very decisive about the path that you want to be on and the path that you want to go on and the directions that you want to head in and what you want to focus on. It's very easy to be confused and distracted right now. I think it's extremely easy to be confused and distracted, and to not trust yourself on what decisions that you're making. And one of the things that I'm really working on, and I'll be working on with Patreon, the universe here on Patreon, starting in April. I keep pushing it back because I want to let my foot heal before I fully do it. But we're going to talk about inhabiting the body on Patreon, regaining your own sense of agency in your own body, which what shamans would call soul retrievals, or, you know, being whole, right? Some people would call it the Holy Spirit. Christians would call it the Holy Spirit, I think. But being whole and having your soul, you know, completely and inhabiting your body. And we're going to do it in a, you know, in a way that lasts, right? That's long term. And when we inhabit our body and we regain agency over ourselves and our body, we can make decisions and trust that we're making the right decisions for ourselves. When we're not in our body, because a lot of us live through our lives as if our body is a second entity. Our brain is one thing, our thoughts are one thing, but our body is just kind of like going through the motions. It's the robot. But this is the thing this is our structure. This is who we are, right? This is our structure. This is our human nature. And it's the most spiritual part. And the way that you make those decisions and the way that you discover the truth of those decisions that you're making are by trusting where you're headed, right? Where you are placing your body. And if you're not inhabited in your body and you're still placing your body in front of you without inhabiting it, it's very difficult to trust yourself. So choosing your path, all is possible. Discovering truth, you stand in the light of truth. And you may feel on Wednesday some sort of independence and like, this is the way things are going to go because this is what's right for me. And that's okay to feel. As long as you aren't trampling over everybody else and their feelings, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to want justice. It's okay to want truth. It's okay to want to feel like you can believe in something. It's okay to feel that, It's okay to be angry if you don't feel that. It's just not okay to put it on other people. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day celebrating yourself. This feels very much like an independent Valentine's Day. Even if you do have a Valentine, which I do, and I'm going to celebrate him, but even if you do, celebrate yourself as well and spend some time inhabiting your own body. I love you guys. Take good care. Bye.